We have with us none other than Mr. V.R. Sharma, the MD at JSPL, to put things into perspective for us. Mr. Sharma, morning. Great to have you on the show. Like I was just mentioning, the big collapse in iron ore. How does that change life for you? And what really is the reason as to why we're seeing this steep fall in iron ore prices?
Good morning and thank you. It is not a collapse of iron ore prices, these are the corrections. Actually, $230 or $220 a ton iron ore prices, EFR China was very highly abnormal. And that was understood by government of China, and thereafter government of China started taking some corrective measures. And due to overall ESG issues and to address the CO2 emission issues, they have stopped most of the mills which were polluting the environment, especially near to the major cities. And there is a big shift in the Chinese buying policy. They are interested in buying semi-finished material so that they can give billets, loam, slabs to their rolling mills. And they do not produce steel or crude steel, which will cause harm to the to ESG issues or CO2 emission. So that has brought down the consumption of iron ore in China. And this is the effect of that. I'm sure this is for the benefit of the people, benefit of the customers. Finally, the last mile customer will avail the benefit and the steel will become more affordable. But side by side, we have to also see another alarming situation today in the world, that is coking coal. So the coking coal has reached to $380 FOB to about $400 FOB Australia, depending upon the coal quality and size. Now the question is, one side, yes, iron ore is down, but the other side, the coking coal has become doubled in terms of the total value. We were at a level when coking coal and iron ore was both at about $210 to $215 a ton, but now the coking coal has reached to $380 to $400 a ton. Iron ore has come down to 130 or below, depending upon the size, grade, Fe contents. So this is a very diverse situation. So one side, yes, there is little respite in terms of iron ore prices falling down. The other side, the coking coal prices have jumped up from $220 to $400 in last 3 weeks. So that is also a great concern. So finally, the steel prices are not coming down. In America, the steel prices are more than $2,000 a ton. Europe is about $1,000 a ton. China and Japan, Korea, they are also about $1,000 a ton. Still, I'm proudly telling that Indian steel prices are the lowest in the world as of now. We are selling at about $750 to $800 a ton in the domestic market. But of course, for the spot market and international market, we are selling at a price of international price, $900 to $1,000 a ton.
Sure. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, Mr. Sharma, was the latest development overnight of Evergrande. You must have read about it. The fact that perhaps the collapse of Evergrande could have an impact on Chinese property market per se, what could that spell then for steel demand?
You see, it is a very large corporation. It is a government-run company having $280 to $300 billion of stakes. This is a very serious matter. If a company of that magnitude and size, it starts declining down, then definitely this will have repercussions and ripples on the economy in China. But you know, India is in very better situation, I would say, because the rest of the world today also buying from India. If there is a slower demand in China because of property prices going down or the collapse in the real estate, then India is already insulated. India will not be affected due to these kind of ripples, what India or the world may face a little. The only difference will be that the exports to China may be reduced, but because of our pricing strategy, because of our cost of production, I think we'll be in a position to maintain our business internationally and also domestically.
Mr. Sharma, if iron ore prices come down, which they have, why do you think steel prices will not come down? Because typically when you will go to your buyer, he would say the raw material, which is iron ore in this case, has come down and you need to compensate for that. I will give you the same spreads, but you need to pass on the raw material drop. Why do you think steel prices will not come down?
You're right. Actually, India does not import any iron ore, first of all. Secondly, the iron ore prices in India were never at a level of $230 or $235. We were still at a level of about $120, $150 a ton. In India, the iron ore prices are reduced by NMDC and the merchant miners by 2,000 rupees a ton. But as I told you, the coking coal prices have gone up. So up till now, the net balance, the trade-off is 0-0. If the iron ore prices go down further, for example, if NMDC, OMC, or the merchant miners, they reduce prices by 1,000 rupees tomorrow or in times to come, then definitely at least 1,800 to 2,000 rupees price correction will take place. Because the factoring of iron ore going down and the coking coal prices going up has already been done till yesterday. So I would say we are at par level now in terms of cost. But yes, you are right. If the iron ore prices fall further, and especially in India, if the iron ore prices go down below 5,000 rupees, then the benefit will definitely be passed on to the customers without any hesitation.
Okay. Now, when we look at companies, whether it's auto or construction, they are telling us that they are feeling the heat of high input cost. They are struggling to keep on increasing prices as the customer. It is impacting their margins. So auto numbers for the quarter gone by were bad. Construction companies are telling us the same story. Even infra companies are suffering. So there would be a point beyond which the customer would say, look, it does not make business sense for me. Either you cut prices or I will not buy. Are you getting a feeler like that?
Not yet exactly, because today they are facing problems in terms of availability of the manpower. Thanks to Government of India, that vaccine is going to be in a big campaign. And the second vaccine should be made available to the people before December 2021. Most of the persons, those who migrated to their hometowns or home states, they will come back after the second vaccination. So then the sites, the MSMEs, the construction sites will start in a bigger way. So till today, we have not faced such a situation that the contracts are being terminated or people are withdrawing from the contracts. So most of the contracts, most of the projects are still on, but their problems are manpower. It is not a problem of steel or cement or any other price. They are still maintaining. Of course, the margins have come down. They always take a cushion about 10 to 15% increase in the prices. And many of the major projects have also considered the price revision. As most of the contractors, they have always a price revision clause or price escalation clause. So most of the major project owners, be it Government of India or be it the private sector, they understand that this is a situation where the contractor will lose huge amount of money or they will run away. So in that case, they also considered in many of the cases a small or medium size increase. So I think now there is no chance of increasing the prices and the labor will come back to the sites. The people will start doing their business in a much better way. And we are hopeful that there is a better tomorrow, which is likely to come very soon.
In any cycle, sir, you always have a glut followed by a excess capacity demand. How far are we away from new additional capacity start kicking in? Because everybody has announced capex, including your company, including Tata Steel, including SAIL. When do you think the real capacity will start commissioning?
You see, steel plants, they take a lot of time to commission. Minimum 3 years and as long as 7 years. So most of the people, most of the companies, they are interested in spending in capex, increasing the capacities. As per the guidelines of Government of India, Ministry of Steel and Steel Policy, By 2030, we have to reach to 300 million tons steel per year. That is crude steel I'm talking. Out of that, as per government's expectation, we have to reach to $1 trillion export economy in next 3 to 4 years' time. The steel industry can play a very vital role. We can definitely reach to a better number in next 3 to 4 years. So there is a market available worldwide. I'll tell you one figure. In this particular financial year, steel industry may export goods about 2 lakh crore rupees of the total value. So if the 2 lakh crore rupees comes to India in terms of foreign exchange, that is about 30 billion or 28 to 30 billion dollars. So it is equivalent to 1 month of export bill of today, because we are doing about $400 billion exports. If you want to reach to $1 trillion, be it services, be it manufacturing sector, be it auto, be it component manufacturers, be it agro products, we all will have to export. And the Prime Minister's dream to take the economy to $5 trillion, I think that is not too far away. Out of $5 trillion, if we can generate $1 trillion foreign exchange by exporting different services, goods, and products, then that would be a wonderful situation. Now, as far as the glut is concerned, I'm not seeing any glut in times to come. Reason, because we want to reach to 300 million ton of steel production. At least 220 million ton steel will be consumed in the country. Today, we are at a level of 110 million ton. Out of that, we'll be exporting about 15 million ton this particular year. So for the country, it is only 95 million ton. With 95 million ton, even if some of the plants they start early as 2023 or 2024, then the capacity buildup will be only 20 million ton. The another big problem which is going to be there in front of us, that the induction furnaces or the small steel mills, those who are based on coal-based DRI as well as induction furnaces, they will be facing very hard time because of the CO2 emission, because the ESG issues, and because the cost of production, power cost is increasing. So if that capacity, which is presently 45 million ton, if they reduces the overall production to 20 or 25 million ton, then out of 110 million ton, 15 million ton goes to exports, and 20 million ton less production, that means we are left with only 75 million ton. In fact, we'll be short of steel. And if that situation happens, then maybe tomorrow we'll be importing steel from Iran and Ukraine. So better for the Indian industry, better for the steel mills, better for the Indian economy, that everybody should spend in this.
Right. Okay. Okay. Mr. Sharma, it's always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us live on the market. The big headline coming in from JSPL at a time when you're seeing the stocks being hammered is that iron ore may be below $100 a metric ton, but India fairly insulated since we don't import iron ore. So interesting days ahead. Right now, the stock market's still showing a lot of volatility when it comes to the metal pack.